For a better tomorrow, plant more trees and make this planet a better place to live in. Good morning, everyone, respected dignitaries and NSS volunteers. Today, we have gathered here on this virtual platform to celebrate the occasion of World Environmental Day 2021, organized by NSS unit Kaylee S. Nijlingappa College. Title of the webinar is Only One Earth Forever, Destroy Never. For better audio quality, please use headphones. As no program begin without the blessings of Almighty, so today we have Sagari from NSS unit to present the invocation song. Over to Sagari.
Thank you. Mahaganapatim manasa smrami Mahaganapatim manasa smrami Mahaganapatim manasa smrami Vasishtavamadevaदिवन्दित Mahaganapatim Mahadevasutam Mahadevasutam Guru Guhanutam Mahadevasutam Guru Guhanutam Marakote Prakasham Shantam Mahakavyanatakavipriyam 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 Mushikavahanamodakapriyam Mahaganapatim manasa smrami Vasishtavamadevaदिवन्दित Mahaganapatim. Thank you.
Thank you, Sagari, for your invocation. It's an honor to welcome everyone who have gathered here for the cause of Environmental Day celebration. I welcome our principal, KLE's S Society, S Nijlingappa College, Dr. Arun Kumar B. Sonapanava, sir, who is being a constant support for organizing an event. And I would like to introduce Dr. Pratibha K.S. ma'am, Head of Biotechnology Department and NSS Program Officer, who is a backbone in guiding and motivating us in all the way with a great enthusiasm and support. It's my pleasure to welcome you, ma'am. We wish a very warm welcome to all of you and hearty congratulate to be a part of this event. As we all know that environment basis of every human life and there is no life without environment. This makes it value brightness. I would request our mentor Pratibha ma'am to speak few words on this event.
Thank you, Mr. Tejendra. Pleasant morning to one and all present here and my dearest NSS volunteers. It's really a great honor to be here to celebrate World Environment Day along with my most loved NSS volunteers 20 and 21. Every year, Environment Day is celebrated on June 5th globally. It is quite simple as when we conserve the environment day right now, the future generations will be able to lead a better life and healthier life. And we should be a part of that particular conservation of our mother nature. We cannot be so selfish to use up all the resources, whatever is available on our earth, and we need to conserve our resources for our future purpose also. We must care our resources like air, water, and land. These three are our rich resources to conserve for our better life. Today, I'm very excited to listen to our students on environment issues, talk, and their interactions. Finally, I congratulate all the NSS volunteers and coordinators for taking part in this kind of race in their college days as a part of institutional social responsibility. every individual has to think about their karmas to how to conserve our mother nature and mother environment. As much as possible, plant a tree, because plants are our life. Plants and trees are our life, and we need to take care a lot. Kadubelisi nadu ulisi. I would like to thank our NSS student coordinators and NSS volunteers for giving me this opportunity to share my views. Thank you, everyone. Over to Tejendra.
Thank you, ma'am, for your great message. Next, I would like to call Monica Shri KV, NSS volunteer, to present an introduction speech on this today's event. Over to
Yes,
Monica.
Tejan. Good morning and hearty greeting welcome to everyone, respected dignitaries and NSS volunteer. I, Monica Shri, NSS volunteer of KLE College, I would like to propose a talk on introduction of today's event. World Environment Day is celebrated on June 5th of every year. On this day, people are supposed to do good things for environment and sustainability. It was first designated on June 5th of 1972 by United Nations to be observed as World Environment Day after a call for saving the environment from possible damage due to industrialization on drew attention. The purpose of Environment Day is to spread awareness among the people about the threat to environment due to rising pollution, population, climate change, and disaster. The inauguration of this festival was first aimed at implementing effective schemes aimed at telling people about the importance of environment. The first theme of this festival was Only One Earth. This annual festival is celebrated according to the theme given by United Nations every year. Since plant species, animal species, wildlife species, and some species have reached the edge of the extinction, it's our responsibility to protect, preserve, and conserve it. To play a, to protect, conserve it, to play an active role in protecting and completely eliminate all the crime related to wildlife species around the world. In the end, I would like to say we live in one home under one roof, that is earth and environment. We should take care of both because our life will be healthy and safe only when the earth is green and the environment is clean. One earth, one environment, and one life. So leave it, don't waste it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Monica Shri, for your introduction. Next, I like to call Barka Goyal, NSS volunteer, to speak about the theme of this year Environment Day. Over to Barka.
As I walk in the nature, the universe is walking with me. In the beauty, it walks before me. In the beauty, it walks behind me. In the beauty, it walks below me. In the beauty, it walks above me. Good morning, one and all. I am Barkha Goyal, NSS volunteer, KLSS Nijilingappa College, Rajaji Nagar, Bangalore. Ecological restoration means conserving biodiversity and sustaining livelihoods. This is the theme of the year. This is the theme of the World Environmental Day 2021. And this event is being hosted by Pakistan along with the United Nations Environment Programme. The event has a participation of over 143 countries annually. Many of the world's ecosystem have undergone significant degradation with negative impacts on biological diversity and people's livelihoods. There is now a growing realization that we will not be able to conserve the Earth's biological diversity through the protection of critical areas alone. Ecological restoration should improve biological conservation, improve biodiversity conservation, improve human livelihoods, empower local people, improve ecosystem productivity. Ecological restoration is the process of assisting the recovery of an environment and an ecosystem that has been damaged, destroyed, or degraded. It is an intentional activity that initiates or accelerates an ecological pathway or trajectory through times. This also means that ecological restoration can be a primary component of conservation and sustainable development programs throughout the world. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Pratibha K.S. ma'am, for providing this opportunity. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Barka, for your explanation. Now, I would like to call Misbah Fatima, NSS volunteer, to talk on significance of the theme.
Nature helps us find peace and growth, restore ecosystem to save our planet. A very happy morning to one and all present in this meeting. Significance of ecosystem restoration. Ecosystem restoration means assisting the recovery of ecosystems that have been degraded or destroyed. So, are we all gonna start caring about the environment? Yes, of course. Since 1973, these day aims to take urgent environmental issues such as global warming, toxic chemicals, desertification, and ozone layer depletion. Over 4.7 million hectares of forest are lost every year. That is an area larger than Denmark. Global warming is a major concern which keeps on increasing 3 degrees every year. About 50% of coral reefs are gone. Near 80% of world's wastewater is discharged into oceans and rivers without treatment, which leads to several diseases. To avoid this, Government of India has initiated Ganga Action Plan and Yamuna Action Plan to save major rivers from pollutions. And also these plans saves biodiversity. Wetlands are being drained for agriculture, and around 87% of wetland is lost globally in the last 300 years. Global greenhouse gas emissions have grown for 3 consecutive years. The world's largest rainforest, commonly known as Amazon forest, is being destroyed for the production of various agricultural activities like soya farms, cattle ranching, mining, oil extractions, etc. We have to restore ecosystem by repairing billions of hectares of land, that is an area larger than China or USA, by bringing back plants and animals from the brink of extinction. Celebrate every day as Environment Day by planting trees and greening our cities, and by cleaning up the trash alongside rivers and coast. So let us unite together to save the environment. I thank Pratibha ma'am for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Misbah. Now, I like to call Raghav to NSS unit to speak on biodiversity. Over to Raghav.
Good morning, everyone. Biodiversity can be defined as the presence of different species of plants and animals on Earth. It plays a major role in maintaining the balance of the Earth. We live in cities, and for many of us, wildlife is something we watch on television. Its importance is unknown to most of us. We are unaware of the reality that the fresh air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat all ultimately rely on biodiversity. Some of the obvious examples are of plants and bees. Without plants, there would be no oxygen, and without bees, there would be no fruits. Despite being so important for our survival, we are destroying our biodiversity as our population is rising. We are clearing lands to create houses and industries. Another major factor which is destroying our biodiversity are poaching and unsustainable hunting. The only answer to these problems is giving nature space and protection it needs. In my opinion, half of the land should be set aside for nature. We all can make a difference when it comes to protecting our biodiversity. In the end, I would like to say that we should take essential steps in order to make our environment better. Thank you for your time and patience.
Thank you, Raghav. Now, I would like to call BM Vaishnavi to deliver a talk on deforestation and soil erosion. Over to BM Vaishnavi.
Thank you, Tejendra, for giving the opportunity. And, my respected ma'am and coordinator. So, deforestation is a permanent removal of leaf of the on the whole layer of the soil. So, it reduces the soil fertility and increase in fertility of the soil. And construction or manufacture or overgrazing leads to deforestation. Human activity since 1960, deforestation has been negatively affecting natural ecosystems, biodiversity, and climate. Causes for deforestation are agricultural activities, overgrowing demand for agricultural products leads to cause for deforestation. Livestock ranching, farmers often clear the land by cutting down trees and burning them to raise livestock and grow food. Illegal logging and wood-based industries like paper, plastic, furniture are increasing day by day, so it should be avoided. Urbanization, development of urban industries or buildings, which is main cause for this deforestation. Desertification due to land abuse, relationship, and still for growth of this. For the conservation of deforestation, we can do is plant trees, use less paper, recycle paper or cardboard, use recycled products. What is soil erosion means? It is a naturally occurring problem that affects all landforms. In other words, we can say top layer of soil is removed by the water, wind, or tillage or agricultural activities like the farming activities. Impact of soil erosion are deforestation of agriculture, overgrazing which causes flood, agrochemical-based industries, construction and recreational activities, and we can avoid soil erosion by construction of dams and reforestation changing agricultural practices. Thank you, Virginia.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. Now, I would like to call Likita TP, NSS volunteer, to speak on pollutions. Over to Likita.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Tejendra. I would like to talk about pollution, how this, you can see how the air has become very clean and how you can see stars in the sky very clearly. First, I would like to talk about the air pollution. The air has become very clean that the Himalaya peak can be visible from Punjab, and it's situated 140 kilometers away. And if we concentrate about the economy, if we increase our economy, then the environmental is decreasing. And also, if we nowadays it's give a positive impact on the economy. Sorry, yeah, it's a positive impact on the environment. It's now air is also clean, water is also clean. For example, nowadays Yamuna and also river Ganga has become very pure and the quality also increased. And now nitrogen dioxide comes under air pollution. The toxic gases released from the vehicles and also other car, trucks and all. The nitrogen axis negative impact towards the human health, and it's also main cause for asthma. Nowadays, the movement of the vehicles has stopped. By this, the nitrogen dioxide is decreased in the environment. For example, Delhi, Bangalore, and Hyderabad, the concentration of the nitrogen dioxide is decreased. And also the climate change also nitrogen, also carbon dioxide, other toxic gases which are released from the industries also reduced. And nowadays you can see the sparrows only in the village side. But in nowadays you can see sparrows in the cities also. By this we can say because of this COVID-19, it's gave a positive impact towards the environment, and also it's from one side it has giving a positive impact by cleaning all the toxic poison which are in the environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Likita. Now, I would like to call Jeevita, NSS volunteer, to speak on scarcity of water. Over to Jeevita.
Thank you, Tejendra. First of all, I would like to wish you all a happy Environmental Day. The topic that I choose to speak on this day is scarcity of water. Before going deeply into what are the causes, effects, and how we can reduce water scarcity, I would like to tell you all what exactly is water scarcity. Lack of sufficient water or not having access to safe water supply is known as water scarcity. So if we just look into the geography, water covers nearly 70% of our planet, and it is very easy for us to think that it is plenty. However, the fresh water, that is the stuff which we use to drink, bath, or irrigate our farmlands, it's incredibly rare. We are only having 3% of fresh water, and in that 3%, 2/3 of the fresh water is tucked away as a frozen glaciers, or it is not available for us to use. Every year, billions of people lack water. Clean water, it's a basic ingredient that every human needs for a healthy human life, but it's not happening. Nearly 1.1 billion people are lacking to access water, and 2.7 billion people experience water scarcity at least 1 month in a year. So there are so many causes for this. The first major cause is overuse of water. Overuse of water is a major issue that every individual are dealing with it, and knowingly or unknowingly use water even though it is not necessary. Water pollution is yet another major cause, where we can see water pollution in the area where there is not good sewage system. If there is not good sewage system, then we will let the sewage flow through water, so it causes water pollution. Conflict for water over an area of land. So we have a common example that people of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu are fighting for water Kaveri. So if that so happens, then it will be very difficult for us to access the water even though it is available. Next, the few more causes is like natural disasters and global warming. These also causes water scarcity. If this continues, then what are the effects of water scarcity? The major effect of water scarcity is that inadequate sanitation problem. If inadequate sanitation problem is a major issue, why? Because 2.4 billion people are exposed to diseases like cholera, typhoid, fever, and waterborne illness every year. Not only this, 2 million people, mostly children, they die each year from diarrheal diseases alone. So if we just look at this points, we can see how adversely water scarcity is affecting people. Many of the water systems, they are already being dried up because of growing human population, and rivers, lakes, aquifers are dried. More than half the world's wetlands had already been disappeared. Yet the major issue is that water scarcity has brought a massive loss in biodiversity. At current consumption rate, if this situation get evenly worse by 2025, that is in upcoming 4 years, what world's population, that is 2/3 of the world's population, will be facing water shortage problem around the world, will suffer even more. We have some methods by which we can reduce water scarcity. First is we have to save water whenever possible. Then we have to educate people so that they can prevent this problem from becoming even more worse. By using some modern techniques, we can recycle water. And we have to invest some money in conserving water. So if we invest some money in conserving water, it will be very good for our future. So we no need to worry about that we have lost money. And there we have to bring some new methods of agriculture, so which do not require so much of water. And last but not the least is there should be a good water distribution infrastructure so that each and every visual get access to water. At last, I would just like to tell you, save water whenever, however possible. It has to be started from our doorstep, from our kitchen, from our bathroom. So each individual had to save water. And I would like, Thank you. Save water, save life. And I would like to thank Pratibha ma'am for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Jivita. And I request everyone to please save the water and conserve the water. Now, I would call Akash S, NSS volunteer, to deliver a talk on environmental education. Over to Akash.
Good morning, everybody. Environment refers anything that surrounds us. It can be both biotic and abiotic. It also includes physical, chemical, and other natural forces. So, having a basic knowledge of environment and its protection is the need of an hour. One such factor that helps to protect our environment is environmental education. Environmental education is a process that allows individuals to explore environmental issues, engage in problem solving, and to take action to improve the environment. As a result, individuals they develop a deeper understanding of environmental issues and imbibe the skills of taking responsible decisions. The components of environmental education are it provides awareness and sensitivity to the environment and environmental challenges. It also provides an attitude of concern for environment and motivation to improve or maintain environmental quality. It provides skills to identify and to help and to resolve environmental challenges, also provides an opportunity to participate in activities that lead to the resolution of the environmental challenges. A number of schools have also taken the initiative to provide practical as well as theoretical knowledge about the impact of human activities of nature. The government of India was also taken up some projects. So the Indian government has established an environmental education training program with an objective of spreading this in remote areas of the country as well as other developed parts. Social media campaign also daily publish more and more information regarding environmental conservation. So all such initiatives will help making world a better place to live.
By a talk on environmental economy. Over to Tanusha.
Sorry. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Good morning, one and all present. Myself, Tanusha KN, student and NSS volunteer, KLE SNC. My topic for today is environmental economics. So let's learn what exactly does it mean. It is a discipline of economics that studies the economic effects of environmental policies around the world. Its main focus is on the efficient allocation of environmental and natural resources and how alternative environmental policies deal with environmental damage such as air pollution, water quality, toxic substances, solid waste, and global warming. The origin of environmental economics date back to 1960s when industrialization was experiencing a boom, particularly in the Western world, and pollution from industrial activity became an increasing concern. Environmental activism also started to increase due to the perceived negative consequences of environmental degradation. The world became aware of rapid economic growth and its consequences to the environment. It led to the establishment of new environmental bodies, chief among them the United Nations Environmental Programme, that is UNEP, in 1972. A glance at any newspaper right now will confirm that environmental economics is now a major player in environmental policy. So, if environmental protection is costly, how much should we spend on pollution control? Is it worth reducing pollution to zero, or should we accept some level of pollution because of economic benefits associated with it? How can we assess the benefits that people get from a less polluted atmosphere? In broad terms, environmental economics look at how economic activity and policy affect the environment in which we live. In recent years, many economists have argued for greater use of incentive in the form of pollution charges and emissions trading rather more traditional direct regulation of polluters. E, which stands for environment, also is for economy. Concluding my topic with a quote by Wangari Maathai, the environment and economy are really both two sides of same coin. If we cannot sustain the environment, we cannot sustain ourselves. It is therefore essential that our population and economic growth are environmentally sustainable. Thank you, one and all present. Thank you, Pratibha ma'am, for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanusha. Now the session is open for Q&A segment. If you have any question, please drop it in a chat box with a speaker name. If you have any question, please drop that question in the chat box with the speaker name.
Good morning. This is JP Shivapampa. I have a doubt.
Please.
Yeah, could you please justify me that is Corona a boon or ban to the nature?
For whom you are asking, please mention the name.
Yeah, I want to generally ask this question. I had a doubt. Anyone of you all can answer.
Tejendra, may I answer?
Yes, sure.
All right. So your question was if Corona or the COVID-19 situation is a boon or bane. Well, I would say it's a process.
My question is not the situation. Is COVID-19 the direct? It's not the situation what I'm asking about. I hope my question is clear. Is COVID a boon or bane to the nature?
Nature. Well, if you ask directly if it has helped in reducing the pollution or reducing the direct environmental effects that humans have caused, yes, it is a boon. But at the same time, you also see there are a lot of ecological imbalances that have been caused because of sudden withdrawal of the human existence, like in normal life. So it's both actually. It's a 50% boon, it's a 50% bane.
Could you please justify with one answer?
If you take most of
Because
it, then it is definitely a boon.
Because it has killed several people. Okay, as humans are the part of the nature, then if it has killed so many people, even though you're saying boon, how could we consider it one?
See, that's what I
We can
told you.
understand
If
that.
you ask about direct ecological or economic or whatever impact that we have been causing, or the wrongdoings which we had been doing to the nature, like in terms of the flora, fauna, wildlife, all of that, it has reduced drastically because of the COVID situation. So that way it is a boon. Otherwise, it is still a bane because you have lost a lot of lives and it has caused an ecological imbalance. That is exactly what I told you.
Thank you.
My question is to Akash. What is sustainable development?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
So, a sustainable